Hey, temperatures are rising in the Northeast, which means not only an early spring, but an early start to the maple season, potentially for maple farms. Normally, when warmer temperatures come around, it's time for farms to start harvesting sap for maple syrup, but it doesn't typically happen this early in the season. Nikki Boxler from Boxler Maple Farm in upstate New York joins us now. Nikki, Boxler Maple has been around for, I think you're 4 years out from turning 100, so I'm sure you've seen a lot. Is this way early for the season to be getting started?
So actually, the past few years, it has been starting early. So this year, it started about the same time as it did last year. And our very first time that we boiled and made maple syrup this year was January 29th. So
Wow.
It is earlier than it used to be, but the past several years it's been pretty early.
So early doesn't necessarily mean bad, though, right? It's more about the temperature profile for a stretch of time as we move forward.
That is correct. So last year we had a great year. And this February, so far, we are on track for our best February ever in our history. So hopefully it continues to track that way. Typically, March is when you're making the most syrup. But right now, our February is looking really good.
So you're out there on the farm right now. We're seeing some of the gear. What can you show us? What can you tell us about the prime conditions? Typically, you said you find them in March, but you want a bit of a freeze-thaw cycle each day, right?
Yeah, so as we look ahead at these temperatures over the next 10 days, it's looking really good for maple syrup because during the day, the temperatures are above freezing and the trees are going to start thawing out. And then at night, it's going down, dropping below freezing. And that freeze-thaw cycle keeps the sap flowing. So it'll stop flowing during the night and then start flowing again during the day.
So how does it work as you move forward with time? Hopefully, we get this long run where you can tap the trees. Do they literally become tapped out? Is that the best case scenario if the season's extended enough?
Yeah, so when the tree stops producing sap is typically when the trees start to bud. So the longer that it freezes, it prolongs that period of the sap flowing. So the longer we have a freeze or a freeze-thaw cycle, the better for us.
Excellent. So we hope, like last year, you can actually have that extended season. Before we let you go, what does that translate into? Do you produce the maple products across the board? I'm a sucker for maple candies. It's my absolute favorite.
Oh, it's so good. Yes, we do. So a lot of people don't realize maple syrup products are only made with maple syrup. So they are 100% maple syrup. If you're in the grocery store and you look at the back of the label of maple syrup, there should be one ingredient, and it's maple syrup. And maple candy, maple cream, pure maple syrup, it's only made with maple syrup.
It's one of many industries that's entirely weather dependent, but it's got to be the sweetest. One of my favorites for sure. Nikki Boxler from Boxler Maple Farm, thanks for joining us on Fox Weather.
Thanks for having me.